What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video by yours truly. I've heard the word. We've heard it. It seems that Kuro devs continue to be attentive to their community and prove that these devs absolutely can keep up with what you're saying, no matter what side of the hemisphere, where your geography resides. They do see and hear the feedback. This is probably one of the most eye-opening things for me with this experience. I couldn't make this argument in the gacha genre because the thing that people love to say is that Chinese don't listen to you guys over there. Yeah, well, Kuro is proving that they do in fact listen. And wow, what a loud message that is. I'm gonna go over this, each particular note that they've jotted down, because they've pretty much addressed every single issue that appears to be a issue in Wuthering Waves community. But I want to preface this by saying I am a bit concerned. This might be a different approach to this from what you may have seen other content creators and their reactions and their thoughts on this. I'm concerned for Kuro developers. I really am. I've seen this happen before. You might have heard me bring up a game called Wild Hearts. Again, I thought it was an absolutely incredible game. It's also the only game that I've played in the entirety of my life where the developers were very attentive and they would listen to everything the community was saying, and they would try to appease everything the community was saying. They would listen to every demand and they would make those changes. And it was one of the most incredible experiences I ever experienced. Unfortunately, the game still died. And the reason the game still died is, one, it had a massive buggy launch. Two, some people don't know what the fuck they actually want in games in order to enjoy the game. And this is something that I think Kuro devs, if you're watching this video, you need to be very careful with. You need to be able to decipher what is good feedback and what is bad feedback. I'm not telling you not to listen to the community. You absolutely need to listen, but you need to be able to understand the identity of your game, what it's designed to do, how it functions, who your target audience is, most importantly, because then you know how to proceed forward with your game's dynamic. Some of these people are complaining about things that probably are doing just fine and operating just fine. But I get it, you're in a tough and difficult situation right now where you're trying your absolute hardest to earn the trust of the community and get everybody on the same page. And that page is, we're trying to give you a good game, and we want you to understand that we're going to give you a good game. We're going to continue to improve upon this product. Please trust in us, believe in us. I completely understand that. But trust me when I tell you, gamers don't know what the fuck they want. Gamers lack the critical thought to be able to comprehend why they enjoy the game that they are playing. They don't understand instant gratification has a detrimental effect to it. So they can tell you, we want this, wah! And they don't understand that all it's doing is giving them instant gratification, which is going to cut the leash known as enjoyment of your game and diminish the sustainability of it. I'm going to go over these notes and give my complete and honest thoughts. This video might get dislikes because people don't understand that all I'm trying to do is explain to them that there's a reason why there's RNG in games. There's a reason why certain things exist inside the gacha genre. There's a reason why Hoyoverse is the #1 fucking company in the gacha genre, even though they've been incredibly stingy with a lot of things. HSR is the exception. Well, I guess Honkai Impact the Third is the exception, but Genshin Impact. Anyways, take all of this with positivity. I am never one to try and rain on any parades. I'm all for generosity, but it's important to establish that not all feedback is good feedback, and you shouldn't bend the knee to every little demand. Okay, let's look at this. That was a nice little lengthy yap. Let's zoom in here a bit. So this first one says Echo development feels grindy and inadequate energy materials. This is one of the first things that I actually disagree with. I think the Echo development does feel grindy, and that should be the case because that's a part of catching Pokemon, and it's a Pokemon experience. You should be grinding your Echoes out. That's part of the enjoyment. That's also part of the reason why I'm back into streaming, and it's brought me back to friends I haven't played games with in a very long time. I love going around the map, chilling with my boys, shooting the shit and grinding out some Echoes. I think this is great. Now, at the end of the day, it's a quite subjective conversation. Might be too grindy for me, or might be fine for me, might be too grindy for another. This is why it has to go back to the developer identifying how they want their game to be designed and function, and who they're trying to appease in particular. You cannot play this monkey in the middle game. You're gonna get torn in half. But the inadequate energy materials is something that absolutely is, I felt that, especially as somebody who's free to play. I've 100% felt that, but I can't complain because one, I am free to play, even though I'm doing all these other things in the game as much as I can. But inadequate energy material is not something that you deal with in Wuthering Waves. It's something that you deal with in every single gacha game. At what is it? I can't remember the correct terminology in HSR, whatever your union level is in HSR. I'm already getting WoW brain rot. Level 30 in HSR, you run into a fat fucking wall of, oh wow, okay, this is a day-to-day grind now for probably the next month until I get to 40 to where I can finally start doing some artifact grind or a light cone grind where I start getting highest quality of materials. You run into that wall in every gacha game. So you're gonna run into the wall eventually. You are. Right now in WoW, I ran into that wall at, what is it, Union level 30. Yeah, Union level 30 to 40. That's the wall. That's the wall where I'm like, okay, I can no longer get good grind in within one day. Now it's looking like I'm gonna have to treat this like a week by week basis. What am I gonna do? Tackle this character, then I'm gonna tackle that character, then I'm gonna tackle this echo, then I'm gonna tackle that echo, because it's all upfront grind. And once you finish that upfront grind, now you're left with only one thing to do: grind echo experience. Right now we're still on that vertical progression to the end game, and then once you get to the end game, it's literally the same as it is in every other gacha game. Just completely spend all your stamina on the light cones, the builds, which that's HSR, but in WoW, the echoes, and wait for the next characters to drop and the next update to drop. So this is again a subjective thing. I don't really know if this is too grindy or inadequate, because comparing to its competitors, it's about the same shit. We are aware of the common concern in the community that the current echo leveling experience feels too grindy and the game lacks a wave plate storage system. Now, I think this should always be in these games. Nobody should be punished or feel like they have to log into a game in order to enjoy like the fruits of the labor, or the like missing out on stamina because I haven't played your game quick enough. I never did like that notion, and I think this is a great change. We have confirmed and will implement the following adjustments while we are working internally on solutions to address other common concerns. In the current version, we will launch a limited time echo material double yield event board cleansing. So they're doing the Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact route where you get double the experience with events, and they do it in a limited fashion because, again, there's a balance to these things. They can't just say, here is all the fucking resources you need to build all your characters up so then you can go and complain about me after the fact and say, we have nothing left to do in your game. There's no end game. Well, that's because we completely took off all restrictions and enabled you to build your account up in rapid fashion, even though our game just came out last week. So yeah, I think this is a great solution right here. I think this is good. And obviously you're also already in the process of increasing the energy acquisition. I just say, yeah, be careful with how much you increase it, because some people, you're basically leading them into that capturing the fish, you know? Okay, we'll try not to yap too much. I'll save a lot of my thoughts when we're done reading all this. I do want to get through this. I don't want to turn this into a fucking 1 hour yap sesh. We will adjust the progression system to reduce the shell credit cost of echo development. This is actually huge. I think this is necessary. If not for the compensation, they gave 600,000 shell credit in the mail for some type of, communication error or whatever. If not for that, I'd be dead broke right now. I think I'm actually just a little bit under 600,000 shell credit, which means you take that away and I'd have diddly squat. So I think the shell credits have been too expensive in some fields. With that context provided, we will remove the reward cutscene of the Tacet field. Oh, fucking thank God. Yeah, so there's this Tacet, when you do Tacet fields, which is where you get your, not only your echoes, you have a chance to get up to 4 to 5 quality echo, 5-star quality echoes. You also get echo experience. You also get a tuner. You get a lot of shit from these Tacet fields, but each time you finish one, there's this cutscene that you can't avoid, and it's kind of buggy. Whereas you want to just complete it and then immediately go back into the next run. This is a huge QOL improvement. Yes, remove that shit. It is a stain. From version 1.1 and forward, the yield of echoes and echo development materials will be increased. So it's vague. They're saying it's going to be increased, but they're not saying how much it's going to be increased. Again, kudo development team. I think it's great that you're listening to the community. Just be careful. You understand your business model, the business model of the gacha genre, what makes it successful better than the consumer, better than the gamer does. A lot of these gamers, they don't even know why the fuck they're enjoying your game, but they're enjoying it. So just be careful with this. Your business plan, I'm sure you've done your due diligence with regards to how much to give the player to make sure the player can still enjoy the game and build correlation with your dynamic of progression on a, I don't know what your fucking business plan is. Is it 5 to 6 week plan? You understand that. Sorry for all this stuttering. I'm trying to do this on the fly. You understand that better than the gamer does. Just be sure that you're not doing it to the point where people are going to reach in-game builds within the first week, burn out, and then bitch about not having nothing to do, all because you thought you were doing a good thing by listening to the gamer. Again, guys, I'm not trying to be fucking negative here. I'm speaking from this from a business standpoint, from an enjoyability standpoint, a pain to enjoyment balance situation. Okay, there needs to be pain, there needs to be pleasure. You can't have pleasure without the pain. The pain is the RNG. Oh fuck. The pleasure is, oh, look at that god tier piece. You know what I mean? The pain is, oh, I only have this much stamina to do today. The pleasure is, wow, I got something good with the stamina I used today. There is a balance to these things. In upcoming updates, we will introduce the wave plate storage system. Massive. That's a W. I have nothing to say about that. On May 29th, we were notified of an issue with the Echo recycling system, where the amount of shell credits players obtained when recycling developed Echoes was wrong. Okay. So they weren't supposed to get as much shell credit, or if any at all. Since this is an issue that directly impacts the game's balance, we fixed this problem through an emergency live update on the same night and issued compensation to all players. What they're trying to say is they probably said, let's put a stop to this now. As part of the measures to minimize the event's impact on the fairness within the player community, we informed the players of the situation and announced that we would remove all additional shell credits obtained unexpectedly as a result of this bug within 14 business days and issue compensations accordingly. Okay, so that's a bit of a lengthy thing. So basically it seems what happens is they said, wait, they're not supposed to be getting that amount of shell credits from recycling Echoes. We're going to go ahead and do an emergency update, put a stop to that, and take away anything they acquired in excess with this recycling method, because they're not supposed to get that in the first place. Now I can understand how people can get pissed off because they probably took that and said, oh yeah, this is cool. It's a good thing in the game. I'm going to spend this right now. And then they come around the corner and say, whoa, wait, you're not supposed to have that. And you're like, well, what the fuck? It's not my problem. So they take it out, you get pissed. And then they say, well, we're going to compensate you with that. And they did say we issued a compensation accordingly. That was the compensation I was telling y'all about. We received 600,000 shell credits as compensation, which I still have. Which was very nice. Caught me off guard. I didn't even know about this echo recycling method, but obviously it was a method that wasn't even supposed to be in the game in the first place. They took it out. Again, I understand the inconvenience aspect, and I also understand there needs to be compensation, which they compensated. Gave us 600,000 shell credits that you weren't even supposed to have in the first place, but they gave it to you because they understood how that psychological mindfuck can be annoying. So it's been rectified. However, due to the urgency of this issue, we failed to issue an announcement of this issue in the first instance, which regrettably caused negative experience for our players. We sincerely apologize for our improper way of handling the situation and the inconvenience caused. So like right here, it seems that you guys are apologizing for something you've already apologized for and compensated for. You've already rectified it by saying, hey, you're not supposed to get that. Sorry, we're going to take that back. But here's our apology in 600,000 shell credits. That is the apology. You've already done it. So you're doing it again right now, right here. Guys, it's very important for developers to not bend the knee too many times. This is how a community can strong arm the developer to continue give them shit that they don't really need. And then before you know it, again, that scenario I was telling you about where you were too attentive, too damn nice, and now the community actually accidentally burned the fucking game to the ground because they don't understand instant gratification and the detriments of it, nor do they understand balance. They just want to play until they run into that fucking wall, and then they're crying about running into a wall because they don't understand moderation. Following an internal discussion, we have decided to compensate all players with the shell credit based on the maximum amount of shell credit that have been unexpectedly yielded through this bug to address the negative impact caused. We will round up to the nearest whole number and provide extra compensation to all players. Shell credit times 1 million. So they're compensating you even though they've already compensated you for another 1 million. I think this is fucking fantastic. I do. I think this is incredible. But it's so unnecessary. You've already done it. You know what I mean? And I already know I'm about to get a lot of hate for this shit. I don't give a fuck. I always speak the truth and I always try to be as fair as I possibly can. This was so unnecessary, and it should go to show anybody who is talking shit about the Kuro development team, You guys should shit on them. They should go and fuck themselves. If there's any Hoyo cucks talking shit, bro, defend this company right now. White Knights, you finally have a green light to defend a company. You should be defending them, because right now they're going out of their way and doing things they don't even need to be doing right now, bro. This is past generosity. This is just like, okay, now y'all just y'all doing a little too much now, but that's great. At the end of the day, I feel all they're trying to do is earn the trust of the community, show the community that they not only are they listening, they are willing to give you fake resources in their game. I'm sorry, fake economy in their game that cost them zero to give out. They're willing to do all the things that their competitors were not doing. I mean, if that doesn't tell you these guys are hungry, that they are deserving of the spotlight, you have a mental illness that, well, for whatever reason, renders you incapable of understanding this. And there's nothing else that can be said. Moving on. Eligibility, character created and mailbox function unlocked before 10 a.m. on May 30th. Okay, so you would have had to have created a character before May 30th, or before that date right there, or otherwise you won't get this. I think that makes perfect sense. That's fair, because then you're just somebody who just joins just so you can get the extra rewards. I get it. You wasn't with them shooting in the gym, bro, like us. The compensation is valid until July 3rd. You have an entire month. Okay. We apologize again for the hasty way we handled this issue. Kudo, too many apologies, man. In my personal opinion, you're fucking fine, bro. You've already apologized one time. Dear God. Additionally, to address the poor experience with the ecosystem, like, these guys are nice. It's like they're nice guys, and it's easily to take advantage of nice guys with the dumb fucks that are in this community. And that's why it's kind of infuriating, or not infuriating, it's a little irritant to me. We will compensate all rovers with crystal wait, what? Additionally, to address the poor experience with the ecosystem, we will compensate all rovers with crystal solvent times 20. Holy shit. Thank you for understanding and support. That's crazy. And again, the poor experience with the ecosystem is quite subjective. I haven't had a poor experience with the ecosystem. As a free-to-play who hasn't spent a penny, I've already done like 90% of all content in the game, including the in-game content. And I've almost already done it as a free-to-play player. And I've had a great time with the ecosystem. Again, another means to say, hey, we're listening to people who are complaining and bitching, and we're trying to like deliver a good experience to you. We're trying to like make sure you're happy. God damn, that's crazy, man. Crystal solvent times 20, bro. I will take that. Listen, hey, I'll take it. Eligibility mail function unlocked. The compensation is valid. All right. On the error in 5-star error. Damn it, I always say error. On the error in 5-star weapon description. Oh, here's the drama between Japan and China. As has been discovered by our players, the description of the 5-star weapon Verdant Summit in the game in certain languages contained a mistranslation. Upon discovering this issue, we promptly corrected the description and issued compensations to all rovers. Now, for us on the Western side, we just got a free 160 astrite. That was it. And our description, I believe, has been the same since day one, so there's no confusion. So in other words, they just gave us 160 astrite for no reason. But for Japan, they got 160 astrite, even though their description was scuffed, which I already made a whole video about that. We have also initiated a comprehensive internal review of the localized versions of the in-game text across the languages that we support. Any corrections or improvements made during the process will be included in the upcoming updates. We sincerely apologize for this mistake. That's an apology that's necessary, and want to reassure you that we're committed to continuously improving the quality of our localization to better the experience for all rovers. Now, I think this is very important. I think this is something that they absolutely need to be careful of, meticulous of, and critical of. Localization inside of the gacha genre is the number one thing that is going to convince somebody of whether they should buy a weapon or not. Now, some of y'all just buy a weapon because it looks cool. Well, that's not the majority. The majority are saying, what kind of value can I get from this weapon? Is it only useful on the character you're promoting, or can I use it on him as well as 3 other characters? Ooh, this description says if I use this perk, then I get the buffs. Oh, those buffs and that perk, the stipulation can be applied across 4 characters I own. That's a good investment. Boom, grab. If the localization is incorrect and you make that purchase and it's only usable on the promotional character, you just fucked my goddamn investment, all due to a misrepresentation of the product. Localization is very fucking important to nail down in these games. So I think this is something that absolutely needed to be addressed, and an apology is 100% necessary. In the meantime, we will offer a one-time compensation of Forging Tides ×5 to all rovers. Forging Tides is the currency needed to make wishes or summons on the limited weapon banner, which is 100% guaranteed. The fact that they just gave out 5 of those while also supplying a monthly supply of the Forging Tides, or a little bit over a month, I believe. That's crazy. That's huge. That means you will eventually be able to afford a limited weapon banner of your choice for the character you want to have it for. As we endeavor to constantly improve the localization quality across different languages, we encourage you to provide us with your comments or suggestions on improving the localization and the experience of players worldwide through in-game feedback channels or our customer support. This is something where you absolutely need to be very observant and very attentive to the community. The community cannot give you wrong feedback, I don't think. Actually, maybe you can, it's quite nuanced. But the community is going to tell you when a description is just fucking too much, or a description is horrible, or it doesn't do what it says it's supposed to do. It's confusing. So I do think being very attentive in that capacity is absolutely necessary. We have received extensive feedback on the duration and rewards of the Overdash Club event. To address your concerns, we are currently in the process of redesigning the rules and reward schemes for the upcoming events. Okay. Ooh, bro, I swear, I'm just put in a tough predicament because I've had a different perspective on this, and I feel like I'm in the minority because of how my brain works. There were a lot of people complaining about this Overdash Club event, saying it was trash and it gave out trash rewards. From my perspective, let's go back to the face up. It took me less than 60 seconds to get 60 Astrite, some weapon ascension materials, some shell credit, and some weapon experience and character experience. It took me less than 60 seconds to do this event to gain those resources I just mentioned. For me, that is not a garbage event. That is an incredible event that not only respects your time, it gives you your resources instantaneously. The problem, if anything, is that there's not more events to do. That event is fantastic. If you ask me, less than 60 seconds and I get the event done for the day, and you're complaining about that? If anything, you're complaining about the wrong fucking thing. You need to be complaining about, oh, I kind of wanted more to do, you know, and give me some rewards with the more to do. That one event didn't feel like it was enough. That's my perspective on that matter. Now, if you disagree, that's fine, but at least my perspective makes perfect fucking sense. We will introduce a new limited time special event, Wuthering Exploration, to offer new rewards and content to improve your gaming experience. Event duration is going to last from June 13th to June 27th. So that event is coming in about 11 days. Event rewards in total after doing the whole event: Astrite ×800, morphable elite class echoes 1 and 2. This is massive. That was in the elusive realm. That's where you get to decide what echo you want to choose to build the elemental character of choice. So if you have a Havoc Rover, you could choose a Havoc Elemental 3 cost elite to build up on that Havoc Rover. That's fucking massive. Plus Premium Tuner, huge for the substats, plus Premium Sealed Tube. Dude, that's huge. Premium Sealed Tube is the highest quality of the Echo experience, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this event, that is what was missing. It's not that this event was trash, it's that we didn't have an event that actually you get to play a little bit more long-winded and get more rewards, because you need those rewards to build up your account. Moving forward, we shall ensure that we make greater collective endeavors internally in designing the version events to improve the event content, quality, and rewards. These guys really do listen to everything. That's crazy, bro. All these things they're addressing, people were bitching about in my streams. I'm blown away by that. Like, wow, it's almost like they have an employee on their team that sits in on every Westerner's stream to listen to feedback and stuff, that's wild. I hope they're listening to my rebuttals, because my rebuttals are shutting that shit down. On future version update timelines. And by the way, guys, I am no fucking white knight. The minute like Kuro Games does anything, I'll call it out. That's bad. The minute they do anything good, I'll jump to defend because it's good. It has nothing to do with fucking white knighting or hating. It's all about the truth. I've said this before. I'm not trying to put any of these companies in a good light or a bad light. I'm trying to put them in the right light. Okay, moving on. Since the official launch of Wuthering Waves, we have received extensive feedback regarding the game's storyline, localization, and various other aspects. We have been listening closely and are grateful for the continued enthusiasm and support from our players, which has exceeded our expectations. To allow everyone early access to experience more content and features of Wuthering Waves, we have decided to advance the release of subsequent content in version 1.0, starting on June 6th at 10. That's in 4 days. This release will include the companion story Solitary Path for Yinlin, the featured Resonator Convene, the banner, When Thunder Pours for Yinlin, the limited time challenge event Alloy Smelt, I don't know if I pronounced that right, along with many more spin-off events and features. So they're expediting, I saw this on the internet already, whether it be through thumbnails or on Twitter. They're expediting the process of Yinlin's banner. I don't know if this is out of fear of the community not having anything to do, or because they're in fear of maybe Zenless Zone Zero trying to follow up their release right after Wuthering Waves dies down. If anything, I feel like they probably should have kept it the way it was, because then people would still have to play Yinlin closer to the Zenless Zone Zero release. But maybe they have a plan to expedite 1.1. Did I finish reading here? Wuthering Waves will last until June 28th, after which we will schedule a server downtime and implement the update of Wuthering Waves 1.1, which will include a new area, Mount Firmament, new resonators, yep, and a new boss, Ju. Ju is the sentinel that Jinzi serves under. And I believe at the end of the story, Jinzi was whispered in her ear by Scar that she was gonna have to fight Ju. Okay, wow. Okay, now I have no doubt in my mind. The 1.1 update dropping on June 28th. When does Zenless Zone Zero come out? Zenless Zone Zero release date? July 4th, the 4th of July? That's insane. Okay, so that is, wow, that's crazy. That's definitely a fucking business move, bro. Ballsy one too at that. That's what's up. Hey, I'll be playing Wuthering Waves. I'll be playing. That's gonna be tough. You trying to keep my attention. That's gonna be real tough. Ooh, I'm not looking forward to that as a content creator. Holy shit. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the reasoning why they are doing what they're doing. They're trying to build a foundation and build it before Zenless Zone Zero comes out. And hey, man, I respect it. Yeah, it's a competitive environment. They should be doing that. The compensation for any inconvenience. See, now I like this. When you do sudden moves like this, it actually is very important to compensate, because that does fuck up plans for people. And yeah, there should be compensation anytime there's any abrupt changes like this. We will issue compensation all rovers, Radiant Tide times 10. Wow. Not the regular wishes, the good shit. You know what I'm saying? Not the regular cheeseburger, the deluxe cheeseburger. The one you need to get the good stuff, the limited banner characters. Huge. I'll take those as a free to play. By the way, any dumb fucks who keep talking about why content creators are free to play and they're not supporting the company, go take a business and marketing class, you absolute dumb son of a bitch. And if I have to explain that to you, it's because you're an idiot, okay? All right, let's move on. To compensate, let's go on combat and control experience optimization. We have heard your feedback regarding the poor experience with auto aiming and auto lock on. Yeah, it's been a shit show. Controls, key remapping requirements, and game field design. Based on the issues, yeah, there's just a lot of fucking bugs. I don't even know where to begin. Based on the issues that repeatedly come up in player discussions, we've identified the following issues and addressed them accordingly, while working on a solution to other known issues not listed below. Auto aiming. In the recent updates, we have disabled the combat camera correction feature on PC by default. Yes, that is so annoying, man. Like, I'm trying to go this way and you keep fucking making me force this way. Yes, thank you. We've also optimized the default values and ranges for combat camera settings. Default values and ranges. Ooh, so maybe you can zoom out like a little bit more or something. That's cool if that's the case for people who prefer it. Boss's existing combat state unexpectedly. In recent updates, we've optimized the aggro ranges. Yep, aggro ranges are a bit annoying. You're like not even like close to them and they're already trying to throw hands, bro. And adjusted the prerequisites for enemies to leave the combat state to reduce abnormal disengagements. Okay. In upcoming updates, we'll introduce a disengagement warning feature. Nice. That's cool. Then you know exactly the distance you need to go to disengage the combat. Nice little QOL. Ghost touch issues on mobile. In recent updates, we have expanded the anti-ghost touch area around buttons. Oh, I've been hearing that if you got some fat ass fingers that you press like map and stuff on accident. That's what they mean by ghost touching. Delayed availability of custom key binding feature. In version 1.1, the prereq to unlock the custom key binding will be lowered to Union level 2. Oh, I get it. Okay. We will also introduce a new player tutorial for using the custom key binding feature, and we will gradually support more custom key binding options for both keyboard, mouse, and controller modes. That's massive. I think there should always be more custom key binding. Like right now, I'm dealing with a problem with my mouse where I want a specific button to be my my grapple, or my special feature button, but it won't even let me do it. That'd be nice if I could, but at least they are saying they're going to try and make a better effort at that. Controller mode experience optimization. We will remap the current controller shortcut of open chat to open map. Yes. And add an option to invert the Y-axis. Okay, I don't play on controller, but cool. Future versions will support controller mode on mobile devices. Poor game field design and impact significant. Wait, what the fuck is that word? Impact signification. I don't think I've ever seen signification. Poor game field design and impact signification. I ain't never seen that. I'll be honest. I like significance, obviously, but signification, I didn't even know that was a word. In future versions, we will constantly improve the event signification and game field design for characters and monsters, enhancing the overall combat experience and positive feedback during battles. On other contents, no purchase. Okay, audio and sound effect bugs, performance issues, crash and instability, depths of elusive realm, event optimization, and updates. What's that about? Including more playable characters, new challenges, new mechs, and new buffs. Okay, so they're just gonna make it an even better mode. That's fucking incredible. Yeah, okay, that's it. That's everything. Wow. Again, addressing every single issue with as much transparency as possible. What an incredible team we have here. I truly and sincerely hope people acknowledge the efforts they're trying to make, because they clearly want you to know that you can trust that they are listening and trying to make an effort at improving the game's experience. To not acknowledge this, you're just a fucking idiot at that point in time. Great job, Kuro developer, bravo. I'm gonna continue to do everything I can to bring good publicity to you as a content creator with the platform that I have, with the exposure that my platform has. I'm gonna continue to cover your game so long as you continue to be incredibly based, generous, attentive. Just make sure that you are maintaining the integrity and identity of the game that you're designing, and not bending the knee to all these fucking crybabies that just cry just to cry sometimes. You got a good game on your hands. Continue kicking ass. You guys comment down below. I expect a lot of scrutiny and disagreements based off of my perspectives. Look forward to reading them. Take care. Catch you on the flip side.